Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and welcome to Discourse Analysis. What do you mean, welcome to Discourse Analysis? Discourse Analysis is not a place, you dumb. Well, what are you even talking about? Well, since you are not in the know, I understand the confusion. But to understand what I'm talking about, you are gonna need knowledge regarding prior discourse. Okay, hi, so Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So today we are going to talk about discourse analysis, especially regarding prior text or prior discourse by Barbara Johnstone. So, let's go. Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ahmad Azim Ibrahim bin Azhar, metric number 2213483. So today we are going to talk about prior text and prior discourse, which was first discovered and also discussed by Barbara Johnstone in one of her research on discourse analysis, focusing on how previous texts and discourses influence current communication. It explores the concept that what people say or write is shaped by what has been said before, both explicitly quoted or referred to, or implicitly influencing tone, structure, or content. Now, let's talk about intertextuality. In prior discourse or prior text, we are going to delve into intertextuality, recontextualization, repetition in conversation, situational registers or enregisterment, genre analysis, recurring forms in recurring practices, frames, and also plots and coherences. So what is intertextuality? Intertextuality is the idea that any text, spoken, written, or visual, or what we like to call in CDA, any discourse, is connected to other texts. It suggests that no text stands alone. It is always influenced by or in conversation with previous texts. Authors may quote, parody, allude to, or build upon earlier works. Readers bring their own knowledge of other texts to interpret new ones. For example, a political speech might echo famous historical speeches. A novel might allude to religious or mythological stories. A meme might remix scenes from movies or books. In essence, intertextuality is about how meaning is created through relationships between texts and making communication richer, more layered and context dependent. One of the examples that was used by Barbara Johnstone was an interview between an interviewer and an interviewee, a journalist and a historian, where the journalist mentioned the term "the shot was heard around the world." This phrase originally comes from Ralph Waldo Emerson's poem about the Battle of Lexington and Concord, marking the beginning of the American Revolutionary. The journalist is not creating his own phrase, but borrowing it from prior discourse, which is the Emerson's poem. The phrase carries historical and emotional weight because of its origin. By using it, the journalist evokes a sense of historical importance, framing the modern situation as equally significant or resonant. How this demonstrates intertextuality, the journalist relies on the reader's or the interviewee's prior knowledge of the original quote to understand its implied meaning. This is intertextual because it quotes a previous text, brings its connotations and historical associations into a new context, and adds depth and framing to the current discussion without explaining the phrase. So now we know intertextuality is when a text or a speech refers to or is influenced by another text, either by quoting it, alluding to, or building on it. It shows how meaning is shaped by what has been said before. But that is intertextuality. What about recontextualization? That will be explained by Brother Hazim. Go, Brother Hazim.